Whatever you thinking that you're gonna be ready, I'm already ready. Whatever you thinking that's getting so heavy, I'm keeping it steady. You should let me in if you only gonna let me in so. A beautiful thing, you're inside of the heart chakra. DoelowDaPilotman, baby, it's the flight star rocker. You can ride the flight, got the price is right, but I'm nothing like Bob Barker. When your niggas low on battery, you gon' need more than a car charger. Nigga, our Father, who art in heaven, giving daily bread. In the heaven council, getting judged by God is the only way I take the stand. Those emotions made a plan to rise up a little bit, to some logic, had to listen to my brain instead. When I landed, I didn't make the bed. The sheep was just messy and heavy. I live in the streets, it can never get better. The searching for peace and the Nebuchadnezzar. I carry my peace throughout every endeavor. Trust me, I'm truly insane. DoelowDaPilotman, never gonna land, but you know that I flew in a plane. I don't got a jersey with me, but it's Jersey City. By the way, I be cool in the game. Your pussy smell like a blowfish, and ain't nobody tell who he can say. Cycles and pattern, just like Saturn, bitch, I got the boomer with the race. What goes around, come back around, wherever you go, you gon' be the same. This shit is what's in my soul. Whatever you thinking that you're gonna be ready, I'm already ready. Whatever you thinking that's getting so heavy, I'm keeping it steady. You should let me in if you only gon' let me in so. You know. When I be flying through the sky, baby, now you know it can only be Dolo. I'm nothing like a bird that can fly, so I can never be a dodo. I'm a triple fire side, motherfucker, but a nigga still so cold. Bitches hopping on my stick like I got a electronic logo. Yeah, I can only be a star, check out the logo. Yeah, ain't drinking no Kool-Aid, I'm on a pom-pom. Yeah, this shit way hotter than a fucking pom-pom. Man, yeah. For the time it rain all day, watch your pain no way. Tell me why it's gonna stay this way, cause it ain't gonna change. Never say my name in vain. Yeah, the way shit ain't getting ridiculous, everything you be spitting. You be acting like the shit in Leviticus. You be acting like a bitch with the bitches with in on tight as pants. You niggas be shitting that like. That's right. Whenever you thinking that you gon' be ready, I'm already ready. Whenever you thinking that's getting so heavy, I'm keeping it steady. You should let me in if you only gon' let me in so. I'm seeing these demons in hell, but you're really gon' prevail. They beefing for real for a good burger like you didn't kill. They feeding a tail like you got served from police in the mail. Your body like a battery, the blood, you gon' be in the cell. Your spirit's dead, you'll be leaving a trail. Can't get away from that, yeah. If you're going out anywhere in the world, hope that you make it back. If your consciousness has a thing, check it chill, don't hope you can make it crack. If you ever hated me in this existence, best believe I hate your back. I'ma just take relax. Whatever you thinking that you gon' be ready, I'm already ready. Whatever you thinking that's getting so heavy, I'm keeping it steady. You should let me in if you only gon' let me in so.
Do the day dash. Only roll sevens. I'm gonna further that. I take everybody's money real quick. Don't ever play me in dice. I'll tell you that right now. I'll tell you that right now. You won't leave happy. You won't leave happy. Let me turn this off real quick. Now look, we're gonna talk about the underground real quick so y'all can know what it actually means. So y'all can know what these things actually mean and stuff like that. And a lot of times we give unwarranted credit. Matter of fact, let me run this a little bit for the air conditioner. We give unwarranted credit or miscellaneous credit or over-exaggerated constructs to things that is very beautiful. And if we're not harvesting our own esoteric farming qualities and stuff like that to know that a plant is beautiful, and whole construct of coming from the underground, because here's the thing, we come from the sky, then it condense, and then it bubble up from beneath and up. So we start to see how rain could come from the sky and a plant can grow from the ground. So it's letting you know that we are in control from an equilibrium perspective, not being lost in one of these pockets of emotions and thoughts, trying to run away from it due to the fact of your own bias, self-projecting. Now you respect one more than the other. And now the underworld have to be seen negative. The upper world have to be seen positive. Then you have people who don't like the upper world to want to make that negative. And then you have people who don't like the negative world to want to make that positive, which is truly just a part of a process. And you didn't got lost and forgot the in-between to make both polar shifts. So all the one point to another point, look at that as two polar shifts, and look at you being blinded and the accumulation for it to even be a two polar shift. For it to be a right, there have to be a left, or right or just be right, or a left or just be left. So you don't want to counterpartmentalize in your mind a bias between, or a dichotomy between right and left. You want to get into the process of what makes this on the right and what makes this on the left. And therefore, that's put you in the right perspective of understanding. Right and left ultimately come down from the top, from the center point, but you considering it and building the neurons is the nuance, and calculating that, not picking one or the other, is you building an esoteric seed from below. So you beam down the seed, now it's spread it out as little sperma seeds and mustard seeds, and now you constructing it is you circling out the square, so when you do start to make a square, it's something to actually stand on. Now your word is your bond, or however the case may be. And that's when you start to bubble up as the energies start to be a planted seed that start to grow as a plant. And then now, if it's a negative plant, it might be something somebody want to stay away from. If it's a positive plant, it might be attracted to, from a spirits may be attracted to it. And, you know, if you know protect it, it might need reharvesting and replanting, or it might get deserted once you get all your shit wrapped up and things of that nature. So this goes into your stream of thought of how you see your mind and your body being here in this world, and if you're self-projecting, you like it or not. You see what I'm saying? If you're self-projecting, you don't like it, you're ultimately in a spiritual negative place. Has nothing to do with this tree, as above, so below. That's just one mechanism for you to be here in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Then you have a pocket of, you like to be here, or you like this circumstance. You're already been on that spiritual path. 9 times out of 10, you have more mental layers and physical layers that build more attraction, regardless of the physical attraction. And therefore, that place in the situation lets you know you've been having grace, and you haven't been in hell pockets to get out with grace as much as other individuals. You know what I'm saying? Damn, I ain't even having on. So that's what helped you understand that. And here's the thing for you government. If y'all don't want people talking about y'all stuff, don't present yourselves and flood it in people's chats, especially people that's not part of your culture and stuff like that. So don't get mad when people talk about stuff you're forcing them to talk about. For an example, I'm a grown man and I click the live button and I got a specific title. You know what I'm saying? Dëmi'Wa-Mski-Sha. That has nothing to do with anyone in degenerate energies on both sides. So that gets no play in this ride. That gets no play in this channel, unless you want to know how reprobated sound. Other than that, the mind games y'all humans put yourselves into ain't got nothing to do with nothing else but money. And y'all gonna stop blaming it on God and putting y'all spirit and shit too, for y'all to be in y'all mind lost with degenerate shit. Because you don't even understand templates of stop counterpartmentalizing what you think is underworld or evil and what's positive, because your ass already evil. Your ass is trying to create thought forms to make it seem like it's okay for your degenerate ass thought forms. Other than that, when it comes to understanding a seed being placed, right? This is a Dëmi'Wa-Mski-Sha, right? So this is an individual's own perception of how they're plucking pieces from the esoteric world to be able to present themselves down here to be that thing that come from the underground, and it's supposed to be a beautiful plant. So we're always trying to make something relatable and in sync. But if you're in a spiritual space that you're making plants with thorns and vines on it and stuff like that, here's where you get lost and complace. And let's separate it from a spiritual world, right? Let's put it in physical concepts and things of that nature. What does it mean for humanity to be in a fallen state? Before you get lost in your bias and I hate this world or I love this world, you need to understand that a fallen state just means a cadensity of something. So when something is in a lesser state, it's something that's maybe plastic you can see through, mentally a thought that you didn't add a lot of other thoughts to frustrate yourself with about. These are different pockets, you know what I'm saying, bubbles and shit. So these are different pockets of things to show you that there's a lightness and there's a heaviness of something that your spirit could be in. Your spirit could be in a mind state that's light or heavy, and you could be paying attention to something with velocity, volume, and mass with the consideration of looking at it like it's heavy or light or however. So when you think about the fallen state, a fallen state is just a representation of the last two stages of the fire, water, air, and earth. Once you become air, external, earth, external is in its heavier state, or something you inside of, that's a form. So it could be a mental circumstance that you developed as an emotion that pleases you, right? That's a concept of a fallen state. But the moment you look at it like it's negative or whatever the case may be, then this is where you leave away from mental accountability. What are you having the highest expression of emotional arousement for? Is it something degenerate, or is it something relatable and in sync? Past the 9 people in the line that agree with your degeneracy and have your vulnerability, and that puts you back in the seat of accountability before you just get lost and you're on one side or the other and you don't want to believe in this, or you do want to believe in this but just recalibrate it in a way that it just suits your bias, and that shit really ain't relatable or in sync from 10 people up away from your cult. So for the most part, you got to understand that when we're looking at what is we actually interpreting, and we all here and we all have different perceptions. And if you have more extreme negative perceptions and stuff like that, then that kind of lets you know what position you in, not what you trying to claim in your mind, and that's everywhere else. And then you're self-projecting to try to pull that out of everybody else in the world. You're trying to make everybody you. That's what you're trying to do. This is where narcissism come from, ego come from. And the ego is a representation of, you know, they stole our shit and turned it into paganism. But it's really a form of, after it's being demonized and called animism. But it's just different spiritual qualities that we add to our stuff. So the EGO is really a calibration of the EAGLE and what's the really Pelicé, right? In my language, it's Pelicé, but the ego, right? But it's a lot of different things, right? Panther. Panther was a term that we utilized for any beast that was feline and things of that nature that represent night or feminine energy or a strong emotion, or however the case, you know what I'm saying, with a collection of lighter spectrums. The rainbow, the horizon, the harem, the Solomon goes into the nighttime, PM, evening, or whatever the case may be. So it's a collection of the colors coming together. And if each spectrum of color in its lighter stage will be an idea before it's a collection, then the collection of these colors or these spectrums coming together make darkness. Same way physically, you could put all the colors in one area and stuff, and then it make black. You see what I'm saying? So it's an accumulation, not an absence of light, or not an absence of form. So from the metaphysics, like if you're looking at 13, an individual wanting to look at the surrounding, but then expand that 24, you want to relate in your own 1, 2, 3rd dimensional body to something that's dealing with the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension that we're creating in thought in its lighter form before it condense. So that'll even be forms of tracking the sun, or however the case, and things of that nature. So it'll be an awareness that you're calibrating. And for the most part, when you're having 4th, 5th, 6th dimensional dots from your 1, 2, and 3rd dimensional body, you're able to see that darkness in the physical representation is not an absence of light, it's a collection of light. And from the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, taking the 24, your relatability to the 4th dimension is showing you that in the mental world, right? One thought is a separation. So that means that could be a color, whatever that thought represent, an expression. And when you bring all those together, it's a collection of darkness in that world. So you might see it as you're the brightest thing, but if you added all these things together and then kind of compartmentalize, it's you're using one for the other. And from the outside looking in, you're really in your own darkness. And it would take you to go through an experience or someone to say, I told you so, that you care about, based upon them being your rock and you making a mistake and coming back around and realizing they was right. That's when you would know that you in your own darkness. You were just coming up with a bunch of bright ideas that you didn't know somebody was getting ready to debunk, or someone was getting ready to spot your ass, or someone was going to catch your ass cheating. You know what I'm saying? And you realize you ain't mean that much. You realize, yeah, I'll say ain't nobody special when it comes in the spiritual world. And that's what we be talking about in the spiritual world, not what y'all be thinking, because y'all got a whole bunch of honor roll, goddamn it, report cards and all this goddamn shit and all this validation, man. It ain't got nothing to do with that. It really don't be having nothing to do with these things. I got to know how to look at these things spiritually, because you're conducting the mind, and the mind is the motivation, the gas that charge up the body to do these things. And if you don't know how to calibrate these things from that perspective, you always secondhand. You always getting second hand-me-down knowledge, aka you having to go through a mistake before you realize you could have seen that from a mile away. I'm saying bars. So you're planting seeds like plants, and this is how that's the first forms of life and bacteria in the first place. Our mind is condensing and becoming a physical. I don't know why scientists don't want to get into this, because they know they have to start paying me and shit like that. So they're trying to figure out a way that they can steal it, but still not give me no credit, and then have Neil deGrasse rock y'all to sleep for another 2,000 years or some shit like that. Yet there ain't no other explanation how you came through another person's body. So we have to break down how we're making our body in the first place, out of thought. And that was an evolutionary trail. A spirit created a thought, a first body. When both of those minds come together, after that, the thought is the mind. Spirits be inside their own mind, creating other thoughts, other imaginations, then that become a womb. The first thing you would, if you want to call getting trapped in. But you are a spirit emanating yourself. And then when another spirit do that and y'all minds collide, y'all make a spirit baby, another mental form, and another spirit could be aware in their own perception from being in that pocket already, developing their own mind. They just got a world to be inside of, to usher in and raise up and make those type of mental mathematics to bend in to become those type of organs and things. And that's how we bring other species into a species for it to be multiple species. And we keep creating washing machine cycles and indigenous things. So it's always going to be indigenous things, like an animal. Animal is an indigenous thing, a one of a kind. I'm saying. So we've been on this 5-pointed being. So that's how the human look, whatever y'all calling human. But it's a group of spirits like me that we're creating mental mathematics to reach to the 6th dimension to become Atmos DAPs, right? So we could be fully in the atmosphere of the sun and make a cool spot in the atmosphere, expand the universe, and make environment, bacteria and stuff like that to become that type of glorified body and different than this one. So this is the only thing where we're talking about glorified bodies. You see what I'm saying? We're making glorified. You never detach yourself from the feeling. The feeling itself is how we're making glorified bodies, not you running away from the feeling and coming up with something in your life like, I need to escape this. You got that from a colonist that did so much negative, degenerate shit. They need to get it out. They had to get out of some negative feeling of them not being able to sit and appreciate what they have accomplished because it was based on negative pretense. So it's like doing a whole bunch of shit to get that pretty backyard, just to sit in that backyard and be haunted by all the negative shit that you did with it. So now you got to create what these people was thinking, what these Indians was thinking, and then boom, write down some shit how to make whatever you did justified. Then it's gonna be a lot of demonizing on a percentage scale of people who's doing positive shit that you start using amongst yourself. It's almost like going amongst people that's already doing something and they make you say please and thank you. And since you got some other type of shit where I got swords and guns, you stop them because ain't nobody gonna tell me thank you. But then you take that good quality just amongst your own people on somebody else's land. You stop them from doing that to you on. You know what I'm saying? So it's now like, yeah, that's a good trait. We say thank you here. Jesus Christ say thank you. We say please and stuff like that. But shit, the reason you in that position because you stop somebody from making you do that because you ain't had no business being on the land you was supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. It's like mental jargons like that y'all gotta get through, where if you don't know the starting point and the seed of the interpreter of whatever quality of intellect that you're receiving and that you claim in a spew for your bias, you won't know that you walking around being degenerate, led to hell just because you picking quite things that go for your bias. But you might not have to do the extreme negative things for you to be in that position because they got a safe coast for it right now. So it's a lot of different things spirits get lost in and shit like that. If we ain't clear enough and we ain't ancestored up and we ain't spiritually inclined up and we ain't got no God, we doomed from the start. You see what I'm saying? Doomed from the start without even knowing where we lost at and using all the lostness for our stability, thinking it's the right thing. And so it's like that energy. If I'm wrong, I don't want to be right. You go to hell. Make sure you don't ever want to be right. You know what I'm saying? And that's how life is. You got to know how life is first before you start interacting with life, because there's going to be a bunch of excuses and, well, I deserve to make mistakes. Not if you know better and you do better. You ain't no doggy anymore, no lion, or you ain't Kanye West head no more running into stop signs. You know better. You know how to look at the stop sign from a mile away before you just get lost in your mind wherever you was at and you ran into it and that woke you up and brought you down to earth. Hey, snap out of it. What you was lost in, condense and make these things. Not you get lost in these things. Shit, just like a fish. You ain't going to have this no more then. Something going to happen. Hopefully you got grace by me just hitting you upside your head. It just looked like you did it. Just looked like you walked into the stop sign holding Kim Kardashian hand. No, really I did it. So that's how God be looking at it. Really I did it. Hey, get out of here. Get back what you made. And that, you know what I'm saying? Real shit. You thinking too far now. You want your body? Now I'm gonna hit you upside your head real quick now. You know you want your head, your big ass head. A lot of shit. You made $1 million out of shit that was in that big ass movie theater head. I know you want it. Get out of your motherfucking mind or you won't have it now. You want another stop sign? Oh, that's shit. God be talking deep. God don't give a fuck about what y'all be thinking about. For real. God don't give a fuck about what y'all be thinking about. For real. Y'all be out down here walking and going and on other paths in your mind. They ain't got nothing to do with God. God will wake you up real quick and be like, hey, turn around. They ain't got nothing to do with a word. You know what I'm saying? You talk about you casting spirits out of somebody's names and shit like that. God hit your ass upside the head with a stop sign real quick and just look like you did it. That's suicide. That's what suicide is. Those be early stages. God ain't do nothing. You ran into the stop sign. You hurt yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's how God cold. God is cold, man. Y'all know how cold God be sometimes, for real. God cold as hell. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. You know what I'm saying? Real slick in the mind. If you understand mind physics and stuff like that, you can start thinking like Atmos DAPs, God's children, the holy ones, the light beings, the ones that's in lighter forms. You see, that's how I'm in the sun. I don't even, if you just a person that you spiritual, you already at a time and a place that your exercising qualities don't even got to be that intense. You know what I'm saying? God's shaping you. So your spirit is in that space. Your mind is floating around in there. And you know how to come to the sweet spot, bring it, go back there, come back to the sweet spot. So it look like you on point, but you're not. You doing what everybody else doing. You just don't always got to do this. Oh, yeah. But that was different. No, this ain't Friday. Y'all think y'all be trying to pull. No, you can be on point with everything. Even if you freestyling, on point. Look straight, on point. Nobody can throw you off, nothing. You know everything. Because you tap the fuck in. So it's like the spirit, you there in the spirit world, boom, your mind there and all the atmosphere, that's the same substance and stuff, because you know how it moves. You didn't take your concept of it, that's the same things, and try to figure out other movements. Your spirit want to move inside of that mental spaceship in another way and shit. So you just be in other people's faces. It don't really got nothing to do with being tapped in and shit like that. You could bet your bottom dollar whatever come out your mouth is bullshit. You could bet your bottom dollar. And it might not have nothing to do with nothing else but the physical too. Not even knowing what you get ready to get into. If you don't know the makeup behind it, the shit I'm talking about, you ain't gonna have your way in it anyway. Not especially if you come across a person like me, you definitely gonna be just straight. The first decision you gonna make is jump into compete mode. You ain't competing with me. I'm gonna be doing something natural. You're gonna be doing something synthetic. You're gonna have to use some of my traits just for you to think what you're doing natural. And at that point, you just frustrate yourself. You know what I'm saying? And God probably put me in your life to know how to do things more naturally, not in your mind. Whatever demon spirit, goddamn fathers and mothers you follow, you how to scam and get this person out the way. Nah, that's wrong. We got to share this space, bitch. That's wrong. Now that's wrong. You already on the wrong end or something. So you try to get right by somebody who already right. You in the spiritual energy of taking. You too much in your single left-hand path energy and shit that ain't got no grounding behind it because you really wasn't connected to anything righteous in the first place that make it replicable or make it logical for you to even be on a left-hand path to separate from something. So you just separating from something based off your bias, not separating something that you attach to and it's your responsibility, but it became too much overwhelming because other parties involved ain't taking their end of the stick, or it might be something you didn't want to get in and it's best for you to separate or whatever the case. That's when you righteous, aka rightfully connected to something like a large body of something before you separate and become your own piece of it like Moses on your own path. You got to be a part of something that at least even you tried to help and you see it don't help. You know what I'm saying? You just can't, I'm on the left-hand path because my bias matters more than what I'm attached to or whatever. That's why a lot of y'all get in cults and then just like fuck your mother energy. You know what I'm saying? So your life end up being short. You ain't even gotta die yet. Your life be short based upon having some quality of connection and synchronizing and relatability around you. Sometimes parents and grandparents' prayers ain't just a prayer. It's the energy of a spirit giving you a thought. A thought is added on to your thought. That's more mental cloth. So you might be in a situation where it's a large percentage scales of things that don't go in your favor. It's hard when your thought by itself manifesting in 1, 2, and 3rd dimension, because it's teamwork makes the dream work. So you have to put in a lot of effort. It take a lot of years for your shit to start reminiscing and stuff. So when you got help from other people who do it on their own volition, you didn't force it, their idea and good natures go to you. So your mind get added on to other minds that might protect you from other people who lack care from others and even themselves from being in that situation. And that lack of quality of caring is the mental spaceship that they in. So that's going to play out in a 1, 2, and 3rd dimension as something in reverse. Something more negative may happen to them other than less. You know what I'm saying? And they might be the victim and you just a witness, but that you could have been the victim. So it's putting you in a situation to let you know you're in the same spiritual space. You just had a little bit more protection and sheltering. And next time it's supposed to let you know you ain't even supposed to be in those type of spaces as a spirit, to start developing those awareness, spaceship mentalities, to start to play that out in the physical world. Things you think you need to participate with. You will save your fucking self, bitch. You will save your motherfucking self. And that's what the Great Spirit, and that's what YAHLAHUÈ teaches us, bitch. Teaches us how to try. We ain't gonna be perfect, but at least try to have the perfect mind. So understand all your imperfections, carve them out, circle out the square them in, lay the steps where they actually needs to be. Give all words and meanings to their proper authors and stuff, regardless of what humans using it down here and shit like that. It might be spirits trying to escape from shit that's negative, to get out of hell that you're helping, that a bunch of spirits using that down here to think that they're getting in heaven and shit like that. These are our duties that we got to take care of. We can't really mind the subjective mind states, just the average human being. And then they have to make themselves powerful in numbers. That's not really our main investment down here. That's just something like in the way of anything else. But that get chastised too. But at the same time, we got bigger fights. We're bigger spirits. You know what I'm saying? So at some point, when you don't understand the late Dëmi'Wa-Mski-Sha, right? You don't understand that we're creating beautiful things. You're just making it negative. You know what I'm saying? This all a self-accountability thing. This is a self-accountability thing. We're all responsible to plant our own apple. Our own apple. We're all responsible to plant our own apple. That's what we used to call all fruits too. Any fruit was called an apple. And a lot of times a bunch of crab apples and stuff. But you need to know we're all responsible for that. So if you're bringing a fruit that may not necessarily represent relatability or synchronizing energy, you're from a different spiritual space coming to the holy farm and you don't know how to plant seeds. That's what it means. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know how to plant seeds. So you might have to use a bunch of other people's seeds, make a synthetic seed, steal other people's fruit and things of that nature. But you truly do not see what we're doing that's beautiful. You truly do not see what we're doing that's remarkable. You truly do not see what we're doing that's mysterious, or a mystery, but it's really not a mystery at all. You know, it's just everybody's individual story. Your testimony, my story. My testimony, you know, not no his or her, M-Y-M-E. You know what I'm saying? Like the Miami tribe, or just, you know what I'm saying? It's everybody's testimony being able to be a puzzle piece to the whole picture. That's the only way we could become complete. We can't become complete if everybody is in one puzzle piece, 1 or 2 puzzle pieces. Just like how you look at the Abrahamic religion. Look at that like 3 puzzle pieces. Everybody ain't supposed to be on 3 puzzle pieces, because how those religions was even created, it was multiple puzzle pieces, like pantheons and polytheism. Monotheism is just when the colonists take over things and want to be all these things. So it's just a whole bunch of still polytheism. It's just a bunch of humans acting like it in government. But then they don't want to act like they're doing it. So they're acting like they're trying to separate these things from the world. But it's really just a bias to sustain them cause plan, or whatever the case may be. So but because that's the only way they can survive, or whatever the case. Off mental cause plan, because when you don't have your own ability to build layers. So that comes from a whole dying race of individuals that keeps smalling and smalling up. That should stop. I don't know why they don't want to reverse that shit, because this is spiritual. This is really not nothing physical we do can stop shit like that. That's like saying somebody died, we could track their spirit and their mind leaving the body. We can't do that. That's not what it is. If that's the case, why y'all can't weigh air yet? Why y'all can't? So it's part of that pocket family. To sit and waste time to try to study that and not understand it, you ain't studying it. To understand it, you studied it. You just got to come up with different starting points of explanations. Y'all try to root too much other starting points on other starting points that can be grounded. And then the stuff that you can't ground is not that it can't be grounded. It can't be grounded in the wrong starting point. That starting point was made specifically for that situation. Like if you at Burger King, you can't be frying something like you at McDonald's or whatever the case. That Burger King is the starting point at that. That's another location if you at McDonald's. So you can't be complaining that why Burger King ain't frying patties like McDonald's, or why McDonald's ain't frying patties like Burger King. Bitch, that ain't the point. The point is you should be studying how Burger King is doing it. I'm just using this as an example. You should be studying how motherfucker Burger King is doing it. Oh, this is flame boil. Oh, this is that. So for the most part, you should know if McDonald's that got flame boil burgers or whatever, you shouldn't be trying to go to McDonald's trying to argue tooth and nail about the shit. That ain't the point for McDonald's. So that's how y'all do a lot of times with the mind and the brain. You'll try to find what I'm talking about that ain't got nothing to do with what I'm talking about, but you know how all philosophers try to, separate the mind and the brain, and then you might get into the brain first and the mind. Or no, these are dichotomies. This is a mechanism, and all you got to know is which one first. Do you think and react first, or do you react and think first? And then there's going to be yins and yangs and pockets of life. So this is why I tell everybody percentage scale is important. And then you'll find which one larger on a percentage scale, because you might be so deluded in biases in your life. One look like the other and the other look like the other one. You know what I'm saying? So you'll be in a situation where you go through a lot of experiences where the physical reaction happened, and then you start thinking, and then you be like, yeah, this is first, especially if it's tied to your bias. You'll write it down and build all kind of over mental exaggerations. Y'all use your mind for shit it ain't made for to do and come up with how that's right. Then there'll be a bunch of other areas where you see the mind affected you first, and then you reacted or responded. And then you might be like that, but that's still a dichotomy. Go through each percentage scale, and you'll be able to see, even in small pockets in every yin and yang, when you get hurt or something you have to react to physically first, then think after. You will start to see in some variation, it still was a thought process first, even if it mean you had to think to be motivated to go to McDonald's that day to get in a car accident because the line was too long or whatever the case may be. So after you had the accident and then you had to react, oh, fuck, I'm in an accident, you still thought first before being there, because there's a lot of things we could point to with a percentage scale of people who woke up and had the same time as you and your family and shit like that, but they thought didn't bend in and motivate them to be at McDonald's. So there's a lot of different ways how we could break down in the spiritual world why y'all fat asses need to stop eating McDonald's that we ain't even got to break down what Dr. Falky and them doing. They could keep getting their money and shit. You see what I'm saying? Real shit. That's cold, man. God be cold. You learn from wishing man too. Shit be cold, man. Like you like floating around. You be flying around in space and shit. Like, can't nobody hold you down. You can't hold me down. So shit. Even when demons want to throw hatred at you and shit like that, you just look at it like, oh, this is another game. What is this? This is a toy. This is fun. Oh, that's it, man. It ain't about nothing else and shit. But you want to make sure you're on the right path. If you fighting fire with fire, you're justified. That's why I'm trying to teach everybody how to fight fire with fire. You got to be esoteric firefighters. There's a lot of tools. One of the main tools, and there's a lot of other ones, but one of the main tools is, can you substantiate your intentions? Don't be running around here if you can't substantiate your intentions, because when it's time to fight fire with fire, right? Those faulty intentions can be used against you, and even if you had the right heart about it, you won't be able to substantiate it. And that means even if you was trying to find God, you still was too far away from God at that time. So that'd be another extremity you go through to let you know, do better next time. But if you someone that don't even open, speak, or express before you substantiated that intent, it don't matter how it's coming across. Even if it's fighting fire with fire, it's only a replica and a mirror of what someone who's out of their mind, trying to use their mind, that they're out of it, to express some physical energy, to be seen like they're out of the body and out of the mind. I made a logic behind it. They won't be able to debunk you though, and they won't be able to try to justify whatever negative stone they try to throw at you, word debate wise or physical wise, and things of that nature. Because goddamn it, your shit got God behind it. Because goddamn it, they have to see the large percentage scale that they in is negative. Period. You know what I'm saying? Can't nothing help you. Nothing help nobody when you in that position. You always on the right side. So that makes a person even feel comfortable with death. You will stand right in front of the bullet like, shoot me. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You know you coming back in this motherfucker. But when you wise, you ain't gotta be in that situation. And if God put you through a bunch of those situations, you was the vessel for that person to not know what they was doing, and to know that though, because we all know. So a person's supposed to know they don't know what they doing. That so it don't lead to stupid stuff like that. And then that person respect you for the rest of their life and shit like that. And then they don't be doing that no more, to the point that they end up in jail for the rest of their life, or they get their life took and shit like that. Boom, each one teach one. No matter the negativity. Bitch, you here for God. All that other shit other people be in, that ain't got nothing to do with you or God. Even if in the physical world it look like it got everything to do with you. No, it don't. We all vessels for God, bitch. Everything we do got something to do with God. It ain't got nothing to do with you, bitch. I work for God. I don't give a fuck what nobody else is talking about. You know what I'm saying? Real shit only be a vessel. Ain't nobody floating around down here talking, oh my God, no the fuck you ain't. You barely could think. You know what I'm saying? You better shut your ass up, bitch. At most DAPs know how to think. And they know how to justify their motherfucking intentions, bitch. Whatever it is. So you in the dark and the light. So anytime somebody want to pull something out your darkness, all you gotta say is and be the light. It's in the light. They can't pull nothing else from it. They might even like that jacket. They like, can I wear that esoteric jacket? Oh, say, can where you get your esoteric clothes from? Oh, say real shit. That's how we make everybody have kingly robes and queenly damn dresses and this shit down here, bitch. Unless you're gonna be on American soil, you gonna think. You gonna know how to fight fire with fire over here, bitch. You gonna know how to come back and create real heavens and shit like that, and really be in that limbo spot to know what that shit mean. You don't get stuck in hell from motherfuckers who created that shit. Stop making it a hell, bitch. It's a heaven. Learn your magic, bitch. Learn how powerful you is in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no such thing as the end of the world unless you creating something new and beautiful, and everything else was outdated. That's it in this motherfucker. If you ain't on that, anything constant is change. It's the only thing constant. You know what I'm saying? Now y'all get out these damn old shits and crying for respirations, and on the other side, y'all get out of these old 1700 books. China, y'all stop taking Genghis Khan qualities and secretly just being businessmans with it now and shit like that. Man, everybody get right. Everybody get right. Everybody get right. That's what this shit is about. You know what I'm saying? Then half of y'all worries will fade away, even if it is a worry. It ain't something that's that deep. You better believe it ain't that deep. God got something else for you to look at that's deep. So when you understand that underground tree, boom, there we go. That's the underground. You planting, but you better make sure you know how to plant something beautiful in this motherfucker shit. Shit don't have to be ugly, and you don't have to be a dry, hardened heart. You don't have to be. You know what I'm saying? Because if the actions don't lead from the mind, these things are connected. You can't say you're doing one thing. That's serving two masters. You're doing one thing, but in your mind, you want it to be another thing. But nah, it's just what you're doing and what you used your mind to do. That's it. That's what God sees. And you brought that to the surface. You scattered it out like light in the heavenly realms. It condensed as sun, moon, water, air, earth. And then it grew as that seed planted and came out. And you are that expression of that. Now, don't be making poison ivy, but from far away, it looked like it got beautiful fruit on it and shit like that. Because when I get close and when I start wanting to get the fruit and then, I get poked and shit like that, man, that ain't nobody's fault but yours. I'm not going somewhere based upon, I'm just going to know how to do better and I'm going to have grace. You know what I'm saying? But whoever was there and shit planted that goddamn shit, God looking at that like, man, I'm about to bring a thunderstorm to this goddamn shit. I don't like these plants. Now the flushing machine cycle happens. Any spirit creating those plants gets stuck in those pockets and never able to expand because they only wanted to be that plant. They only wanted to be that character. They wanted to be the Lord of that thorn. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, God say, well, go be a Lord in your own thorn world and see if you're going to have an atmosphere you can survive in to make your ass feel like you could have that type of expression in the first place. Don't forget, you was in an atmosphere. You was born here, bitch. So anything you pluck from here to think you want on your own, go see if plants grow where there's no sun and atmosphere. AKA your thought and your breath that you didn't want to make relatable and sync to add on with others, which you separated in your own mind. You ain't going to be able to breathe in your mind. Because your mind is the wind. It's going to get shortened up. The imagination going to get more harsh, peeing and shitting on yourself, drowning and shit, drowning, and you ain't even really doing that. You in your mind, and it can't never stimulate an organ again that actually had that experience, and you can release it in a sweet spot. That's hell. That's YAHLAHUÈ. You know what I'm saying? Now you're being carried through Yahuwah, crescent moons, right? And you're just being tagged along in the spiritual cycle without never being able to become a whole form again, a full cycle, a full moon, coming back. You in one half of something that it was only your whole. You didn't add your whole to everybody else's whole because we only pieces. You ain't want to do that. You don't want to do that. I don't understand. I don't understand. But that's where you get, that's how you travel there. You know what I'm saying? And then for the most part, when you collect, you know how to look at all those collections as mathematical procedures. Then whatever form that you're alive in, you know how to flesh it out through dictionary terms, terms of agreements, meanings we put behind it, and give every meaning and word to its rightful owner and replace it with the words and meanings of what we're actually doing. And therefore, this makes you fight fire against fire. I mean, fight fire with fire in a proper way, aka use logic against logic, not logic for logic. What's an example of that? Using logic for logic. Oh, Jesus walked on water and God because of this. Was using logic against logic, aka water didn't mean an actual man walking on it. So man, the term itself, must have a different meaning. You see what I'm saying? Now you don't have to look at the Bible like it's a lie. Now you can look at it like I'm lying to myself. There may be a different understanding based upon how I'm using these words now. So when I say back in the day, mas and mama, right? Or ya, or sa, or laha, right? Now, these were just masculine terms and feminine terms. So we was calling these the true men and true women that raise us. And we're getting raised up with our micro thoughts and feelings and actions by greater thoughts and feelings that sometimes we make a mistake and sometimes we do right to show us. Then those are the men raising us. The white bearded men. We're not talking about white man. We're talking about just the Kanakia, Skipakia, Muskakia, and then goddamn it, tobacco. And then we talk about the 4 layers of the world and condensing these things and how you know how spring is being made, how summer being made, how fall being made, how winter being made, walking tonka. So we're understanding the essence. We're understanding the hidden that ain't hidden because we got many representations of these things. So it's letting us know that these representations, we are minor representations of these things. But if we act accordingly, this allows us to know that we're on the beauty path and we have the eagle's eye and we have the eye of the tiger and we have the goddamn panther fist. But at the same time, if we're not going to understand where that shooting star, our mind being a spaceship that's condensing and us being a physical representation to make this beautiful down here, then as a spirit, we're going to have to consider we're not beautiful spirits. You see what I'm saying? That's how you separate it. You know what I'm saying? It's all about, can you substantiate your intent? Therefore, even when you have to act ugly and negative, it's how God will come though. And can't nobody debunk it. And a lot of times you don't have to go far with nothing else but the word. A person would know whatever word they trying to use don't match because it ain't the word, it ain't the sword, it's the one who wields it. It's the one who wields it. You know what I'm saying? So one person who's gullible can tell you, please sit down. Another parent can say, sit down. You're going to sit down on one of them. One of them, you might try to play around and let's replace that gullible parent words with the fire being on the stove. Pardon me, y'all. With the fire being on the stove, feeder and stuff like that. Here you go testing it until they got to whoop you. Like, and they really didn't want to, but they had to whoop your ass like they never did before. But the other parent, shit, might not even have to experience your ass second questioning and shit like that. Might not have to put a finger on your ass either because they had the God word and the energy behind it. You know what I'm saying? So you already know I don't even want to experience trying to test putting my hand on the fire. Other parent, you touch it and the fire might be so low, a few times you do it, ooh, this feel good, it's wintertime. You know what I'm saying? Then you get closer and closer, and you get that whooping of a lifetime, that one time that they really didn't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? You get that, but you didn't even have to let it go that extreme. You could have seen that from a mile away. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. So you got to keep that in mind. It's the times we in and shit. We in some spiritual location where we're duplicating it in the physical, and the physical is a representation of it, and you can't hide. So whatever you're creating in the mental world, that's what it is. It is what it is. It is what it ain't. You can't be no oil snake salesman or woman. You know what I'm saying? So it might look pretty, yeah, but as soon as a person take it up the street for a test drive, all the car parts fall off and shit like that. Somehow y'all know how to put the things janky together enough that the test drive, it's like y'all got a minute, second on there and shit like that. The test drive, everything cool, smooth. You think it's a brand new car and shit like, damn, and shit. The moment you buy it, the moment you take it off the road, 4 miles up the street, that's it. You need everything in the world that costs more than what you bought it and shit like that now. Oh, shit. And you need it towed. Anybody got time for that shit? Oh, used car oil snakes, man. Snakes salesman oil. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it is in the spiritual world. You got to peep game and shit. Something look pretty and shit. You bite that fruit, you start to realize, oh, my tummy ache. My tummy ache, aka in the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension. you in debt. That's all that meant. That's really all it meant. I said the apple. Apple. Get you the apple. Real shit. But yeah, y'all go out there, exercise, let your skin cook. That prepare you for the fall time and things of that nature. And let everything cook, let everything sweat out. Let everything sweat out. You know what I'm saying? All the toxins. And this we used to do in the sweat lodges and stuff like that, in the long houses and shit. In the plank houses, the big old, just like y'all see my my aunties and the grandmother, them little Cherokee house, even though they ain't Cherokees, but they all, those just be different names for shit. They had a church out of it. They lived in it, everything and shit like that. They had the whole block, whole area sold up. You're just going through a time where it's all more woman now and stuff. But at the same, they had the whole thing sold up and shit. You know what I'm saying? Then brought that here, and here had a whole heavy Moravian influence and Mormonism influence and shit like here. So, but just don't forget where that come from. It come from how I'm talking. It don't come from where y'all think things be coming from, like ancient Greece. No, it come from how I'm talking. Like when they say things like, because they're trying to rock y'all to sleep, they always trying to make it seem like natives is disappearing. So you always got other ethnicities, especially the white boys, start talking about other people's history. Like it always takes somebody else to mix with native. No, how about everybody just came from my nutsack? How about that? How about everybody that splices of meat? That don't even make sense the other way around. Because white boys be trying to make themselves important too. Yeah, there had to be some old Vikings that came here because Hebrew was spoken over here. How the fuck that mean a white boy has something to do with it? Because y'all try to steal people's shit and then try to mix it now. That don't mean nothing. Y'all ain't come up with shit. Y'all just went places and stole shit. And y'all still doing it today. What make y'all think the practice was ever different? The old white boys y'all be listening to, they was more liars than y'all. That's why I don't even understand. People always want to go to Christopher Columbus and shit like that. Like they wasn't more liars. For them to even be in a position that they in today, that's their trick. Motherfucker, what the fuck? Why would they tell, like, y'all lost? They wouldn't even be in a position they in today if it didn't take a lie. You know how much they was lying back in the day? Lord Jesus Christ. Y'all, wow. That's why when I be listening sometimes, even when y'all ask for FBAs be asking for respiration and shit, I'm like, damn, do y'all know any starting point of life? Y'all could make better arguments for yourselves. Y'all even know the starting point of things. But yeah, this is replacing shit and things of that nature. They try to make it seem like, oh, they were speaking Hebrew. No, you calling it Hebrew. We were just speaking Native American, and then it wasn't even Algonquian or whatever the case may be, or whatever. We were the only people speaking what y'all calling Hebrew or Jew or what's the other one? There's a lot of them, all the way down to really English too in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Is what we were speaking, not what y'all calling it. Y'all, after y'all stole it and then y'all trying to claim it and y'all can't speak it now. Nothing. I don't see nobody from Greek or Greece could make a whole, use their talent and even make a song and rap the whole language and it be hip or whatever. Because it ain't they shit. It's something they just got colonized and had to learn or whatever. They ain't come up with it. They ain't the fathers and mothers of that shit. My people is. So y'all don't even know what these words be meaning and shit. The people that's be using these shits now don't even know what these things mean, like YAHLAHUÈ and shit like that. That's some old Jesuit trying to say I'm gonna take care of everything that y'all used to do for yourselves. So people using YAHLAHUÈ now don't even know what that means. Everything y'all dealing with over here is piggybacking off my shit and my people shit. So it's like y'all doing it for monetary gain. That's why it's so easy to poke holes in it, because you need strangers to do that. If you just amongst your people, they're done for different purposes. All the way down to spinning bills, Buffalo Bills and shit. Like Buffalo's just representing energy and strength and quality, not just taking things from the land and claiming you got the most dollar bills. I mean, all right, yeah. You know what I'm saying? You probably weak, and you probably did some weak ass shit to get it. And if you was around me, I'll be able to take it from you. In an honest way. Show you what a Buffalo Bill really is. You know what I'm saying? And that's about it. Y'all gotta understand these things spiritually. What sulfur is spiritually. What is sulfur? Sulfur is a situation where something you love, but it's really you love to hate. And it really comes from a form of hate. So you're doing it for other reasons, but if your reasons you're doing it for get kicked down the road, you can't necessarily stop doing it. So you have to act like what's real. You have to act like you just like hating. That's sulfur. So you love hating. You love the flesh. You love your God you was following. The highest thing that excited you emotionally, and that's truly what you plucked from as a spirit. So that's where you originated your seed from. You just be needing help because you didn't create that energy on your own. Is this something you be plucking from and what you choose to consider as a bias? You know what I'm saying? So that's sulfur. What you think down here is the false beauty or false expression of what you in search for. Beauty is anything you can soak in, like a thought and an emotion that make you smile or make you happy. And if it's a whole bunch of degenerate shit, you're not really a beautiful spirit. You like to create hatred, and that's the only thing that make you smile. That's the only thing that make you feel hype and things of that nature. And that's how God see it. That's how YAHLHO see it. So y'all got to be careful what y'all choose to follow, because there's other spirits that don't be in them forms anymore. And they be trying to get out, and you'll keep them in that motherfucker. And then you'll go to the same world they in without being there with them. You in your own jail cell, your own mind there. And you're going to wish that you could do that outwardly again. And you can't, because everybody start realizing they in a dream after a while. You know what I'm saying? Once y'all start realizing y'all in a dream, y'all start waking up, because you start condensing too much to all the things that the light was made out of. Physical representations, things you involved yourself into in the physical world. These are just different constructs of the light condensing, like your mind condensing and becoming an organ. So spiritually, you just go back into your condensities and you charged up because you had a lot of more thoughts and feelings. So a lot more reality is coming into be. So you just ride that blood flow, that mental construct down to your blood flow, and then wake up and start using your body. So ain't nobody putting you in sleep. Ain't nobody taking you out of sleep. You need to know on a percentage scale, sleep deals with recharging. So what needs recharge? Something that you're doing, moving your organs around. So if your spirit create mentalities that build in and become adrenaline, then the adrenaline ability and the physical ability needs recharging. So if you thought too much during the day and you did and then it's time for your body to recharge, you might not have a dream, because your spirit is just in resting stage, because you can't emit no more imaginations. You did it all out the day. You overburnt yourself out. So that got to recharge your ability to spark an imagination, which would you being inside of a bubble, a mind state, and having that imagination, that dream. You know what I'm saying? You got to since you're still alive, you're resting your body making abilities, creating a mind to be in, and that bending in as oil running machine, blood flow and adrenaline for your heart and stuff to keep pumping and stuff and things, because it ain't pumping it's pumping because you keep pushing more blood and stuff in it, not you already having a certain amount of blood. And no, you're always burning blood, making blood, burning oxygen, making carbon. You're always eating shit and pissing. Like you always receiving thoughts, getting rid of thoughts. You know what I'm saying? You're always in some flood to show you the esoteric washing machine cycle that you don't need a book for. So you're supposed to understand that from a holy perspective, holy perspective, holy. You know what I'm saying? And you'll figure out how to get closer to the beauty path to do something the absolute way. And you might not be perfect, because it's going to be your subjective and perfected way. But you bring more perfection to the world. You bring more carving out. You got more esoteric tools than people. So your landscaping ability and construction is cold. Haiti, you throw Harambe. You know what I'm saying? It's cold. I mean, the land looks so carved out and shaped up. Sun pockets, lands manufactured and shit like that. You don't even have to express your true idea, and a motherfucker get it and just start adding on to it. And you'd be like, damn, is they in the same world as me? You brought them there. You know what I'm saying? That's how cold that should be. That should be cold. But that's what YAHLHO teaches. You know what I'm saying? Put everybody in that perspective where you're the creator, not the creation. So when you get lost in the creation, you lose your creator attribute. You know what I'm saying? And you're no longer relatable or in sync. You can't find a better way of doing something. So you go extreme for your bias in a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Then you go through your own washing machine cycle, whether you end up being evaporated and can't do it again, or you have some grace and you just have less layers. And it is up to you to keep doing the same tricks. You just have to do it in more extreme, sneaky manners, or go ahead and just change your life. So you go ahead and start presenting yourself in the right way. You know what I'm saying? In this washing machine cycle. But that's how we hear. We can't over exaggerate why we hear and coming up with dichotomies about it that's purely just on the basis of someone biased that really don't even have animals involved. If anything, animals on reservations too now and shit, made for everybody entertainment. This it get weird. So we just gotta know how to be. Y'all gotta know how to be better humans. And when y'all be better humans, that's when you start making that new glorified body in the mind. Teamwork makes the dream work. And it'll already play before you die now. Y'all will already be in this energy and stuff like that, where eventually you can even stop exercising and then you just go outside and let the universe shape you. Then go clean up, and you always look like something different. You always look the same, but you just look closer to God. You keep looking closer to God because you go through the dirt, then you go through the cleansing. Go through the dirt, go through the cleansing. Go through the dirt, replenish, depletion, replenish, depletion, depletion, replenish, depletion, replenish. You know what I'm saying? And therefore, you're in the same pocket, same day, different shit. But the only thing constant is change. You're in sync with it. You're in sync. You're changing just like spring, summer, fall, winter. Yahweh, Yahweh. Sad, northeast, southwest, whatever. So you're going in the wind. Soup. So you're just going in the wind. So that's how you get the YAHLAHUÈ, USA, Uriel. Because I am you. You are a representation. You're made out of my thought pattern. The sun had to make a U horizon and land in the west as we're rotating to the left to make that appearance. So you're made out of my makeup over here, not no other way around. So don't even be listening to no goddammit some colonists talking about people was speaking something, so that actually means white people had to be somewhere first. No, y'all are out of the conversation when it comes to those things. And how about just Native Americans start mixing everybody up? How about that one? And y'all just help with that based upon what y'all thought y'all was doing. How about that? Ain't no somebody in some ancient race or something like that had to mix with certain people or whatever. No, I am the ancient thing. It's me. I'm the man. I'm the one fucking. Ain't no is always on the account of some damn weaker thing that caused me. No, I'm me. The fuck is you talking about? If anything, you come from me then. You come after. Bitch, y'all ain't got no origin story. That's for everybody. I ain't talking just about white people. I love everybody. I'm just saying, it'd be a lot of people online and shit talking crazy and talking stupid. How's everybody else shit always on the backs of somebody else shit that don't know where they come from? That don't even make no sense. No, can it be possible? You just came out of my nutsack. Can that be possible? And we ain't gotta think about aliens no more. We ain't gotta think about nothing. We ain't gotta think about, oh, well, maybe they were speaking this. Like, can it be possible that I just made the language? Can that be possible? Why I gotta be from someone else that we got to go back into Men in Black movies and stuff like that again to try to figure it out and read 2,000-year-old books and arguments and shit? No, can it just be you came over here, I was speaking a language? Can it just be other races was coming, they're mixed with me? That's it. Why I gotta be I'm made up of something, but the description of it is I'm here first still. I'm here first, but the reason I am what I am is because what came after. No, how about what came after is because I'm here first? That's it. You just offspring of me. If you're in America, I don't care if you white, black, motherfucker, Spanish, whatever, you are offspring of me. Now, anybody who don't know themselves, ask them their origin story before they open up their mouth and say, well, maybe natives over here is something because of somebody else traveled. And then y'all gonna be having 2,000-year-old arguments. And then you can get on my channel and I'm gonna just say, it's me and you from my nutsack. Now listen what's on my mind and how I birthed you. The end. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got nothing to do with nothing else. I don't hear all that stupid ass shit from lost children spirits. That's lost children spirits. I don't know myself, so I'm going to put together some miscellaneous Lego blocks. But I'm getting paid off these Lego blocks. I don't give a fuck about that shit. It's adult spirits here. Bitch, I know where my dick went. Ain't no motherfucker Krusty Krab gonna tell me where my dick ain't go. I'm saying real shit, bitch. That as it is in heaven, as it is on earth, bitch. You ain't about to tell me no origins about shit when it come to me. You ain't about to tell me no language about what come to me, bitch. I can tell you about yours, and if yours got some miscellaneous holes poked through it, then I wouldn't even defend it anyway, bitch. Go to hell. Who gives a fuck? Other than that, y'all believing in shit in spirit. But I love all y'all from about my heart, real shit. Flight boss, bitch. You know for sure. You know, listen to the Mind Inventaries Move. I'm the Royal Archangel Uriel. And I'm gonna carry God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. I'm gonna wash my ass, right? And whoever in Ohio, if you is a regular person or whatever the case may be, you come link with the tribe. Or things of that nature, because we have ceremonies every week when it's got done, bitch. You better motherfucking believe that shit. You know what I'm saying? I might hit the road again. I don't know. I'm sad. Real shit. I love all y'all from Baltimore. Real shit.